The near Balkhash and Kary sanctuaries occupy the territory of the southern near Balkhash region. This is where the largest river in the Almaty region, the Joly, flows. It originates in the glaciers of Tian Shan and flows into Lake Balkhash, making it extremely desalinated and forming the large delta. The river delta is a home for thousands of kinds of birds, animals and fish. All these species are protected by the government here. The delta of the river Joly was the second largest delta after the Sirdarya River delta, but when the Aral Sea dried up, it became the largest delta in Central Asia. Its area exceeds 8,000 square kilometers and it is 150 kilometers long and 100 kilometers wide. Thousands of lakes and creeks that cross over, forming a peculiar large labyrinth, where one can easily get lost for many days without meeting a soul, but wild boar, roe deer and other wild animals. The river Joly originates on the territory of China, in the mountains. Then the river runs into the territory of Kazakhstan to flow into Lake Balkhash. In the distant past, the river used to be a busy route for trading and used to link China and the modern territory of Kazakhstan. But the river has got shallow since then and attracts only adventurers and whitewater rafters who come here for a flow of adrenaline, whereas the wide delta of the largest river of the Almaty region is a favorite place for fishermen and underwater hunters. Scientists say that a delta of any river is a special kind of a mini ecosystem, and one can see the system work when they see large fish in canes near the bank and sandpipers walk along the bank in search of food. Canes that grow along the riverside are a shelter for local birds and animals. The shores of the lake are overgrown with canes and turanga. There are also riparian forests, where the trees are bound with lianas. The Joly River Delta has been included in the Ramsar Convention list as one of the most significant wetlands that is important for saving migratory waterfowl species. In the delta of the river, two sanctuaries have been created, the Kary and near Balkhash sanctuaries. Their mission is to protect wetlands that are on the migration routes of migratory birds and their nesting locations. The near Balkhash area is inhabited by more than 250 kinds of birds that gather here while migrating. Colonies of Dalmatian and pink pelicans have an important role in the global ecology. According to scientists' calculations, almost a quarter of all Eurasian pink pelicans are found in the near Balkhash area. Dalmatian and pink pelicans nest near large cormorants. Such good neighborhood allows the birds hunt fish cooperatively. While pelicans find fish, cormorants dive for it. The delta lakes are abundant with various ducks, from the common red-headed netted ducks to a cute species of white-headed duck. Among the lake dwellers are grey ducks, Eurasian teals, mallard, red-headed and white-headed netter, as well as other diving birds. Birds like mute swans and hooper swans were common in the river delta in the past. Glossy ibises and grey geese were also abundant here. But as a result of excessive hunting, the number of these birds became so rare that they were included in the Red Book of Endangered Species. Glossy ibis, mute swans, white-headed ducks, Eurasian spoonbill, great ergot, as well as such birds of prey as short-toed snake eagles, white-tailed and long-tailed eagles, and ospreys have become rare here too. Today the delta is inhabited by waterfowl such as great crested grebe, red-necked grebe, Eurasian coot, grey herons, Eurasian bittern, common moorhen, spotted crake, water rail, various kinds of sandpiper, seagulls, sterna, and other water birds. Among predators, one can spot western marsh harriers. The delta is also a home for smaller bird species such as great shrike, Eurasian panduline tit, bearded reedling, Eurasian blue-tit, typical warbler, leaf warbler, yellow hammer, marsh warblers, blue throat and nightingales. Their distinct hubbub brings unique character to these cane jungles. The government of Kazakhstan is currently considering prospects of creating nature preserve at the Ili Delta. Debates between those in favor of turning the area of the Ili Delta to a strict sanctuary and those who believe that the site should satisfy the needs of thousands of local residents have been going on for years. Ecologists notice there are serious conflicts of interest between immediate material needs of the local population and the needs of the environment, and the negative impact of human activity on the river delta such as fires in spring and poaching. The current policy of Kazakhstan's government to support local tourism should make local people's economic needs coincide. Tourists will come and leave their money here for communing with wild virgin nature. Today, in the delta of the Ili River, a kind of fishing based on the principle "caught a fish, let it go" is being popularized, as tourists will pay not only for a good catch, but also the service, meals, accommodation and transport. This will stimulate the economy of the Balkhash region. By leaving their cash in this unique area, visitors will contribute to preserving nature of this terrain. Today, in the delta of the Ili River, dozens of fishing reserves host up to 5,000 sports fishermen and eco-tourists each year. The actual delta of the Ili River starts near the Aralto Bay settlement, where from the main estuary the Topara Lake system originates. A few kilometers down the river Ili, the right inflow of the river Kalgan Ili starts. Kalgan Ili is translated from Kazakh as a main inflow of the river, or the main Ili. Like many other floodplain rivers, the river Ili constantly changes its features and currents. More than 50 years ago, the Kalgan Ili was the main inflow of the river, but today it only carries no more than 6% of the whole amount of the river water. The main river stream runs along the Iur Creek, forming the Maitan Lake system before flowing into Lake Balkhash. Having got through the cane floodplains, the muddy waters are filtered, and when flown into the lake, they are crystal clear. Underwater hunters appreciate the transparency of the lake water, as well as the abundance of fish and its size here. So when the fishing season starts, the site is popular not only with Kazakhstani underwater hunters, but also with their fellow underwater hunters from other countries, both neighboring and distant ones. From the time immemorial, there have only been 6 kinds of fish in the Ili, and 3 of them were attractive for fishermen: the Ili and Balkhash marinkas, or snow trouts, and the Balkhash perch. In the second part of the 19th century, the carp, The fish that had never been native to this area got into the lake by chance and adjusted quite soon in the new environment. From the 1930s to the 50s, dozens of fish species were introduced to the lake area, such as bustard sturgeon, catfish, grass carp, aspen, pike perch, bream, warbler, Volga pipe perch, and the Aral common barbel. Quite recently, another non-native species has invaded the delta, the snakehead. In the 1990s, the near Balkhash area was a popular destination among foreign sports fishermen, who came here to catch the large catfish. The first group of tourists from Germany caught about 80 catfish within 7 days that weighed from 20 to 80 kilograms. This was a sensation. Fishing magazines called the Joly River Delta the best place for catching catfish in the world at that time. A flow of foreign fishermen made it to the river delta. But as time went by, fires and poaching caused a decrease in the amount of catfish near Balkhash. Today, this site is mostly visited by fishermen from Kazakhstan and Russia. The fauna of the southern near Balkhash area is diverse. At the edges of different landscape zones and the steppe, floodplains and wetlands, the abundance of wild animals and their diversity is evident, especially in riparian forests called tugai here. Hoofed species that inhabit the area are wild boar and roe deer. Recently, the delta was a wintering place for herds of saiga antelopes, and in the periphery, at the edge of the desert, one can find white-tailed goitered gazelles. In riparian forest, one can come across pheasants. In the river plains, you can spot such rare birds as vodka and little bustard. The upper part of the floodplain in the delta is occupied by predators: wolves, foxes, jackals, wild cane cats, and mountain weasels. Tourism brings profit, which is essential to sustain the local economy. This profit does not have a negative impact on the ecosystem of the region. Ecotourism is an efficient way to save natural resources, though recreational load should be rational and wise. There were cases of exploiting river deltas for commercial purposes that caused exhaustion of wildlife and natural resources. The wild world of the river delta is fragile and extremely vulnerable to human activity. Our generation is to save this jewel of wildlife intact in the Joly River Delta for our descendants in the state we received it from our ancestors. This is the main goal of the Kary and near Balkhash sanctuaries. The Environment and Natural Resources Law should be strictly obeyed.